Here's what happened when I spent time researching the Carnival Pride, and trust me, this ship has some surprises that even seasoned cruisers don't expect. Most people think they know what to expect from a Carnival ship, but the Pride breaks a few rules in ways that might change your mind about mid-size cruising. Let me walk you through what makes this ship tick, because after digging deep into guest reviews and ship details, there are some things the brochures don't tell you. The Carnival Pride isn't trying to be the biggest or flashiest ship on the water, but it's doing something different that's worth your attention. Built back in 2001, the Pride has been through some serious updates that transformed it from a basic cruise ship into something more refined. The most recent renovation in 2014 added features that put it closer to premium cruise lines than you'd expect from Carnival's usual party boat reputation. When it comes to where you'll sleep, the Pride offers 4 main types of staterooms, and here's the honest truth about each one. Interior cabins start at about 185 square feet, which sounds tiny until you realize you're barely going to be in there anyway. These rooms come with twin beds that convert to a queen, a small sitting area, and enough storage for a week's worth of clothes if you pack smart. Oceanview cabins bump you up to around 220 square feet and add a porthole or window that actually makes a bigger difference than you'd think. Waking up to ocean views instead of a blank wall hits different, especially on sea days when you're spending more time in your room. The balcony cabins are where things get interesting, offering about 260 square feet plus the 35 square foot private balcony. These balconies aren't huge, but they're perfect for morning coffee or a quiet drink while watching the sunset. The sliding glass doors also make the room feel much larger than it actually is. Suite guests get the royal treatment with rooms ranging from 345 to 490 square feet, depending on which level you book. The suites include separate seating areas, priority boarding, and some come with VIP treatment that includes things like priority restaurant reservations and complimentary room service. What surprised me most about the Pride's accommodations is how quiet they are compared to newer, larger ships. The ship's size means fewer people stomping around above your head, and the older construction actually provides better sound insulation than some modern designs. All rooms come with 24-hour room service, which is free for continental breakfast and has reasonable charges for other meals. The bathrooms are compact but functional, with good water pressure in the showers, something that can't be taken for granted on older ships. Now let's talk about food, because this is where the Pride really shines in unexpected ways. The main dining room serves traditional cruise fare with rotating menus, but the quality is consistently better than what you'll find on some of Carnival's larger ships. The smaller guest count means the kitchen can focus on quality over quantity. The Lido Marketplace is your standard buffet setup, but it's laid out better than most. You won't find yourself stuck in endless lines, and the food stays fresher because it turns over faster. They got everything from pizza and burgers to international stations that change daily. Guy's Burger Joint serves what might be the best burgers at sea, and yes, that's the same Guy Fieri you're thinking of. These aren't your typical cruise ship hockey pucks, they're actual quality burgers with fresh toppings and buns that don't fall apart in your hands. The BlueIguana Cantina brings authentic Mexican flavors that go way beyond typical cruise ship attempts at international cuisine. The tacos are made fresh, the salsa has actual flavor, and they serve breakfast burritos that could compete with any shoreside Mexican restaurant. For specialty dining, the Pride keeps it simple but effective. The steakhouse delivers quality cuts cooked properly, though you'll pay extra for the privilege. The Italian restaurant offers more refined dining than the main restaurants, with pasta made fresh and sauces that don't taste like they came from a jar. What sets the Pride apart is how the smaller size affects the dining experience. You can actually get to know your servers, and they remember your preferences after a few days. The service feels more personal than the assembly line approach you get on mega ships. The bars scattered around the ship pour decent drinks without the watered-down taste that plagues some cruise lines. The Red Frog Rum Bar specializes in rum-based cocktails and serves Carnival's own brewery beer, which is surprisingly good for a cruise line brand. Pool areas on the Pride prove that bigger isn't always better when it comes to cruise ship amenities. The main pool deck centers around a single large pool that rarely feels overcrowded, even on sea days when everyone's fighting for space. The adults-only Serenity Retreat takes up a good chunk of deck space and delivers exactly what it promises, a quiet area where you can actually relax without kids splashing around or loud music. The padded loungers here are more comfortable than the standard deck chairs, and the dedicated bar means you don't have to leave your peaceful spot for drinks. 2 whirlpools provide space for soaking, and they're positioned to catch both morning and afternoon sun depending on which one you choose. The deck space around the pools offers plenty of loungers, and you can usually find a spot even during peak hours. What the Pride lacks in flashy water features, it makes up for in usable space. You won't find massive water slides or surf simulators, but you also won't spend your entire sea day hunting for a place to sit. The pool bar keeps drinks flowing without the chaos you'll experience on larger ships. Bartenders can actually take time to make your drink properly instead of rushing through hundreds of orders per hour. Deck space extends beyond just the pool areas, with multiple levels offering different vibes. Some areas focus on active recreation while others prioritize relaxation, giving you options based on your mood. Activities on the Pride focus on quality over quantity, and that approach works better than you might expect. The fitness center offers modern equipment in a space that doesn't feel cramped, with cardio machines that actually face the ocean instead of blank walls. The rock climbing wall provides a decent challenge for beginners and experienced climbers alike. It's not the tallest wall at sea, but it's well designed and maintained, with safety equipment that gets regular inspections. Sports enthusiasts can use the basketball court for pickup games or organized tournaments. The court doubles as a volleyball area and hosts other activities throughout the day, making it one of the most versatile spaces on the ship. Evening entertainment happens in the main theater, which hosts production shows that punch above their weight class. The smaller venue creates a more intimate experience than the massive theaters on newer ships, and every seat offers a decent view of the stage. The comedy club brings in rotating comedians who perform multiple shows throughout the cruise. The late-night shows tend to be more adult-oriented, while earlier performances stay family-friendly. Live music happens throughout the ship, from piano bars to deck parties. The smaller crowds mean musicians can interact more with guests, creating a more engaging experience than the background music approach on larger ships. Casino gaming offers all the standard options of slots, blackjack, poker, and roulette. The casino isn't huge, but it's large enough to avoid feeling cramped during busy evening hours. Art auctions and shopping opportunities exist but don't dominate the ship's schedule like they do on some cruise lines. You can participate if you're interested, but you won't feel pressured to attend every sales presentation. The Cloud9 Spa delivers relaxation services that compete with land-based spas in both quality and pricing. Treatment rooms offer ocean views, and the staff includes licensed therapists who know what they're doing. Spa facilities include a thermal suite with heated loungers, aromatic steam rooms, and a thalassotherapy pool. Access to the thermal suite costs extra, but it's worth it for the quiet space and relaxation amenities. Fitness classes range from basic yoga to high-intensity interval training, with instructors who adjust workouts for different fitness levels. Classes happen in dedicated studios with proper equipment, not just cleared-out conference rooms. The spa's relaxation areas include quiet spaces where you can decompress before or after treatments. These areas offer herbal teas and healthy snacks, creating a true wellness environment separate from the ship's party atmosphere. Salon services cover everything from haircuts to manicures, with stylists who understand how to work with different hair types and can handle both simple trims and special occasion styling. Spa packages can provide good value if you plan to book multiple treatments, though individual services are priced competitively with resort spas. The key is booking early, as popular time slots fill up quickly. Kids and teens get dedicated spaces designed specifically for their age groups, and the programming goes beyond just basic babysitting. Camp Ocean serves kids aged 2 to 11 with age-appropriate activities led by trained counselors. The kids area includes indoor and outdoor play spaces, arts and crafts areas, and video game zones. Activities range from scavenger hunts around the ship to themed parties that kids actually enjoy. Teen areas provide space for older kids to hang out without adult supervision while still maintaining safety protocols. The teen club includes gaming areas, dance floors, and comfortable seating for socializing. Family-friendly activities happen throughout the day, from pool games to movie nights on deck. The programming balances structured activities with free time, so kids don't feel overscheduled. Babysitting services are available for parents who want adult time. Those spaces fill up quickly and require advance booking. The service includes both group and individual options depending on your needs. Special kids menus in all restaurants ensure even picky eaters find something they'll actually eat. The menus go beyond just chicken nuggets and pizza to include healthier options that still appeal to young palates. The Pride sails various itineraries depending on the season, with Mediterranean routes being particularly popular among guests who want to see multiple countries without the hassle of changing hotels every few days. Shore excursions range from cultural walking tours to adventure activities like ziplining and snorkeling. The ship partners with local operators who know their destinations well and can provide insights you won't get from guidebooks. Mediterranean ports include stops in Barcelona, Rome, and various Greek islands, with enough time in each port to actually explore instead of just rushing through tourist traps. The ship's size allows access to smaller ports that megaships can't reach. European itineraries often include overnight stays in select ports, giving you time to experience nightlife and evening activities that day trippers miss. These longer port stays justify the higher cost of European cruising. Excursion pricing varies widely, but independent exploration is always an option in most ports. The ship's guest services can provide maps and suggestions for self-guided tours that cost much less than organized excursions. Pre- and post-cruise hotel packages help extend your vacation and provide easier logistics for flights and ground transportation. These packages aren't always the cheapest option, but they eliminate the stress of coordinating multiple bookings. So here's my honest take on the Carnival Pride after analyzing everything from guest reviews to ship specifications. This isn't a ship that tries to be everything to everyone, and that focus actually works in its favor. The Pride's biggest strength is its size, large enough to offer variety, but small enough to avoid feeling like a floating city. You can walk from one end to the other in just a few minutes, and you'll start recognizing fellow passengers after a few days. Service quality benefits from the manageable guest count, with staff members who can actually remember your name and preferences. This personal touch gets lost on ships carrying 5,000 passengers, but it thrives in the Pride's more intimate environment. Food quality exceeds expectations, particularly in the specialty restaurants and Guy's Burger Joint. The main dining room serves solid cruise fare, without the mass production taste that plagues larger ships. Entertainment works well for the venue size, with shows that feel more like live theater than stadium productions. The smaller crowds create better audience interaction and a more engaging experience overall. The ship shows its age in some areas, particularly in cabin design and bathroom layouts that reflect early 2000s thinking. However, the 2014 renovation addressed most of the major issues and added modern amenities where they matter most. Pricing typically runs lower than comparable cruises on newer ships, making the Pride a solid value proposition for travelers who prioritize experience over brand new facilities. What makes the Carnival Pride stand out from its competitors comes down to three key factors that you won't find advertised in the marketing materials. First, the ship's size creates a cruise experience that feels more like a large yacht than a floating resort. You can actually meet and get to know other passengers, and the crew remembers your preferences after a few interactions. Second, the Pride's itineraries often include ports that larger ships can't access due to size restrictions. This opens up destinations that provide more authentic local experiences instead of tourist-trap port areas designed for megaships. Third, the ship's passenger-to-space ratio creates a more relaxed atmosphere where you're not constantly fighting crowds for elevators, deck chairs, or restaurant reservations. This makes a bigger difference than most people realize until they experience it. The Pride also benefits from Carnival's decision to focus renovation money on areas that matter most to guests: food service, entertainment venues, and cabin comfort, rather than flashy gimmicks that look good in commercials but don't improve the actual cruise experience. One unique feature is the ship's ability to offer both party cruise vibes and quiet relaxation, depending on where you spend your time. The pool deck can get lively during the day, while the Serenity Retreat provides genuine peace and quiet just a few steps away. The Pride doesn't offer extensive conference facilities, but it does include a few meeting rooms that can handle small business groups or family reunions. These spaces work well for groups of 20 to 50 people who need private meeting space. The Business Center provides basic office services including internet access, printing, and faxing for guests who need to handle work emergencies or travel documentation issues. Hours are limited, but staff can assist with urgent business needs. Private dining options allow groups to reserve sections of restaurants or arrange special meals for celebrations. The ship's smaller size means these requests get more personal attention than they would on larger vessels. Wedding and anniversary celebration packages include everything from cake and flowers to photographer services and special dining arrangements. The intimate ship environment actually works well for smaller celebrations. Guest experience highlights from the Pride consistently mention the personal service that comes from the ship's manageable size. Passengers regularly report bartenders who remember their drink preferences, dining room servers who know their names, and housekeeping staff who go beyond basic service. One frequently mentioned experience involves the ship's officers and crew participating more actively in guest activities compared to larger ships where staff responsibilities are more compartmentalized. Passengers often end up having conversations with senior crew members during formal nights or special events. The Pride's smaller passenger count means special dietary needs and requests get handled more effectively than on megaships where individual needs can get lost in the crowd. Guests with food allergies or specific dietary requirements consistently report better accommodation than they expected. Many guests mention the ship's ability to provide both social experiences and quiet relaxation depending on personal preference. Unlike larger ships where finding quiet space can be challenging, the Pride offers genuine options for travelers who want to escape crowds. The ship's entertainment staff often develops ongoing relationships with guests throughout the cruise, creating experiences that feel more like vacation with friends than anonymous resort stays. This personal connection shows up repeatedly in guest reviews and sets the Pride apart from larger, more impersonal cruise experiences. Service recovery stories from the Pride often involve crew members going significantly beyond normal protocols to solve problems or enhance guest experiences. The smaller environment allows for more flexibility and creative problem-solving than rigid corporate policies typically permit. Overall, the Carnival Pride delivers a cruise experience that prioritizes quality over quantity, personal service over flashy amenities, and authentic relaxation over manufactured entertainment. For travelers who value these qualities over having the newest ship with the most activities, the Pride offers something increasingly rare in modern cruising, a vacation that feels personal rather than processed.